Hi! So, I made a similar speed paint video before of the episode 8 of Truth in Abyss, but this time I'm actually gonna talk about what I've learned, or more specifically, what way of drawing DLC is used for me, since there's no specific way of creating art, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Anyway, I start off by making draft sketches of the panel layout, which I'll include in the panel and the speech bubbles. It makes it easier to see the flow of the panels if you turn on the on-screen area. Having the panel sketches or like the shapes on a different layer than the sketches themselves is a lot easier when it comes to creating the actual panels with the frame tool, since I like to cut the sketches and move them to the panel's own frames and folders afterwards. Also, before adding the panels, I first like to add the speech bubbles just so I can see how much space the text will take. If it takes too much space, I sometimes edit the dialogue or separate different parts of the sentences to another speech bubble. For me, drawing the line art is very difficult. I often ended up putting too many details to sketches only for it to be covered up with the line art, and in some cases ruined by the line art. So I figured out that I could just forget about the way I used to do line art and just draw the final line art from looking at the draft sketches. It's way easier and faster for me, and it feels more natural. And it also doesn't give me strain injuries that easily. Of course, sometimes my sketches end up a bit messy, but that's when I just clean them up a bit by using the eraser and redrawing some of the lines. To make sure I'm drawing the panel how I want it, flipping the canvas helps so much, especially when I'm drawing anatomy. It helps me to spot some of the anatomical errors, so I really like using that flipping thingy. If I'm still struggling after all that, I like to use the mesh tool to edit the lines. When it comes to coloring, I have my own little color palette saved, and I also recently found this tool called Close and Fill, which makes coloring so much faster than what I did before with the normal fill tool. I tend to have the face on a different layer so I can hide it and color everything easier, starting with the flat coloring. I also like to color the line art to make the drawings look somewhat softer and match with the surrounding colors better. When I'm creating dark scenes or when I try to add even more shading, I like to use multiply layer, and then I'll just cut the parts that are still lit. Lightened up? And I like to color the edges of these lighter parts with warmer colors to make it like a lot softer. I actually made a texture for the bookshelves so I could just copy paste it here, but I realized only after making it that it wouldn't be better to add the colors of the books before, but oh well, I still colored it somewhat roughly, but the bookshelves weren't too important here. I'm running out of things to talk about, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for so many subscribers on my Webtoon. I still remember I was so shocked when I saw my sub count go from 300 to 1,000 in one night, and now there are literally over 19,000 subscribers right now. And also over 260,000 views. It's so insane, but I really appreciate it. It's kind of overwhelming, but I want to do my best, so I hope you'll enjoy the future chapters as well, and thank you so much for your support.